Soft, chilling music hums in the background as Violet Nocturne emerges from the darkness, her presence both alluring and foreboding. Good evening, my dear seekers of the shadowed unknown. Welcome, once more, to my intimate theater of the macabre, Echoes of the Dark. Tonight, I offer you an invitation to a tale that transcends the merely unsettling, a story woven from shadows and inked into the very fibers of an ancient book, a grimoire that should never have seen the light of day. Are you ready to turn its forbidden pages? Pause for effect, allowing the sound of a distant wind to ripple through. They call it the ink-bound grimoire, an artifact whispered about in the circles of rare book collectors. Our story begins in a forgotten bookshop, an unassuming corner deep within the labyrinth of an old city's oldest district. Its proprietor, a recluse named Elias Crowley, had spent decades amassing tomes long thought lost to time. His greatest obsession, however, was the legendary grimoire, said to grant the reader unfathomable power at an unspeakable cost. For years, the grimoire eluded him, and then, as fate, or something far darker, would have it, the book found him. Or, more precisely, it appeared in his shop's window one stormy night, as if conjured by the shadows themselves. The sound of rain tapping against windows begins, faint yet persistent. Elias, unwilling to believe his eyes, approached the book with trembling fingers. Its cover was bound in something that felt like skin, yet pulsed as if alive. Its title shimmered faintly in the dim light, as though inked in the deepest crimson. Against his better judgment, he pried it open, only to find the pages blank. At first, because as he stared, black ink began to seep across the parchment, forming words, no, sentences, that were addressed to him by name. Violet's voice dips into a seductive whisper, the words almost caressing the listener's ears. Elias Crowley, seeker of secrets, we meet at last. The book told him it could fulfill his every desire, answer questions no man dared ask. All it required was a little blood, his blood, a single drop to awaken its true power. The book insisted it was harmless, a minuscule price for the cosmos to yield its mysteries. And what bibliophile hasn't pricked a finger on a rogue edge? Temptation eclipsed reason. Elias obeyed. A low heartbeat sound quickens, syncing with the sense of foreboding. The ink of the grimoire came alive, coiling and swirling as if a serpent swam through its pages. It promised him wealth, knowledge, eternal life, all within his reach. Each page answered his unspoken thoughts, revealing forbidden rituals and ancient truths. But with each revelation, Elias noticed something peculiar. His reflection in the shop window began to fade, just slightly, each time he read, like a phantom silhouetted against the storm. Her voice grows thinner, more breathless, as though lost in the story herself. He grew obsessed. Days turned to weeks. He ignored the customers who wandered in, entranced by the book's promises. But power is never freely given, is it? His body began to show the toll. The veins on his hands darkened, taking on the hue of the grimoire's ink. His voice grew quieter, as though each word spoken aloud diminished him. When he finally looked into the dusty antique mirror behind his desk, his reflection had disappeared entirely. He was no longer of this world. An empty silence lingers here, amplifying the weight of her narrative. Elias was horrified, but the grimoire offered him a choice: to pass it along to another, to draw someone else into its binding grasp, or to remain its eternal servant, trapped within its pages. What would you choose, I wonder? To save yourself or condemn another? A faint, eerie laugh escapes her lips, as if she already knows the answer. The grimoire, it turns out, weaves its power not through knowledge but through succession. Each owner marketh another. Elias knew he couldn't inflict this fate upon someone else. In an act of defiance, he tried to burn it, to rip its pages apart, yet the book remained unscathed. And so, as the ink consumed him, Elias faded into the grimoire itself, his soul dripping into the parchment, binding him eternally to the cursed tome. Her voice grows hauntingly softer. Some say the ink-bound grimoire still floats from shadow to shadow, seeking its next victim. A reader so curious they'll ignore the warnings they can almost sense humming in their very bones. Perhaps it waits for you. She leans in, her presence filling the screen. Tell me, my dear shadow dweller, what would you give to unlock the universe's darkest secrets? The ambiance fades, leaving only Violet's seductive, philosophical murmur. Until next time, keep your candles burning bright, for the darkness has a way of whispering your name. Good night, my faithful spectator, and beware of the books that call to you from the void. The outro music swells, then fades into silence.